what's up, Chris? Hey, I was just wondering, we don't want to talk about the account, but it's kind of interesting considering Bank Leumi's sort of fine history with the SEC, the Department of Justice, and with Benjamin Lowski, former head of the New York Department of Financial Services. You're still bound by that FINRA agreement for all dispute resolution, correct?
I can't discuss the account with you, sir.
Yeah, I'm not discussing the account. I'm just talking about the terms of the company's contracts.
I can't discuss the terms of the company contract. Do you have one with the company?
Oh, I would never open an account with Bank Leumi. They're a bunch of pathological, lying, forging criminals. That's an objective fact. They've already admitted to it. They also have registered agents of a foreign power, members of the Golani Brigade, like Avner Mendelsohn working as their CEO. So no, I'm not the least bit interested in opening an account with a bunch of criminals who lie like them. I'm simply saying that the arbitration agreement says that if people were to file a complaint to FINRA, the dispute would go to where the complainant lives. So you have to bring all of your witnesses for dispute resolution in, say, Iowa or Wisconsin, which actually probably end up costing the company more than resolving the dispute regarding the account that you refuse to talk about. And I just find that to be somewhat ironic, because the FINRA arbitration agreement goes both ways, as we know from the Wells Fargo case that was ruled recently in San Francisco, in which the arbitration agreement binds the client to the bank and the bank to the client for all dispute resolution, even for accounts, as in the case of the Wells Fargo case, that were forged illegally by Wells Fargo. Only the federal government can use courts.
Mr. Selba, hold on for a second.
How do you know it's Mr. Selba? You're assuming, but okay, continue.
Well, I'm sorry. Did I get your name wrong?
No, you guessed correctly. Yes, continue.
Okay. Look, you want to talk to me about this?
I don't want to talk to you. I'm just going to tell you how it's going to go down. I think it's bad business, Mr. Gawley. I think...
Hold on, just for a second. If you let me speak for a moment. Look, if your parents, you acknowledge your parents were the account holders, or were the account holders?
Of course. I'm not going to lie. I'm not Bank Leumi. I don't lie about anything. Yeah.
Okay, so they're the account holders. And obviously, I don't know, but I assume they want you to engage in these practices that you're engaging in.
What practices am I engaging with? I'm simply telling the bank what actually went down objectively. Look, it was a recorded conversation in which they lied about, in which the ETF manager, Good Harbor, operated. You wrote the letter. You know they were shorting their own fund. That's why it crashed 30% when the market recovered. That's why they switched from IBV, which is the iShares S&P 500 ETF, into TLT, the 20-year Treasury, and then traded against their own money. That's why they're under SEC investigation. Now, you don't want to admit that, that's fine. But here's the problem. Here's what I don't get. From a capitalist, logical, high IQ standpoint, one would think that you'd compensate the client for the losses, which was only 1.2% of the portfolio, and then make your high outrageous fees anyway, doing the right thing. Put them into a direct market access trading platform like Bloomberg's JavaScript trading platform or Interactive Brokers IB. Take your high management fees on the wrap, which by email recorded in spring of 2013 was to be a little over 1%. That's an objective record. And then the fees ended up being much higher higher than that because of hidden internal fees. That's just, you already know that. There's already the objective record for that. So you're already busted. All you're doing is making things inconvenient. I mean, you want to drag Bernstein, who was on the conference call that was recorded, as well as the InvestNet guys, and Pershan, all to a Milwaukee arbitration for 20-some G's? I mean, that's insane.
Is this here? Again, I can't discuss.
Okay, we're not going to. I'm just telling you those business practices are not the business practices of a capitalist enterprise even interested in making a profit. That is like the most absurd, ridiculous, internal ideology. Now listen, here's the deal, okay? Here's the deal. Okay? You already know that I have all the recordings. You already know that I was recording the meetings. You already know that. Wait a second. Whoa, hold on, Chris.
Are you capable of this, man?
Okay, fine. I'll listen to you. I'll give you a few minutes.
Okay, alright. Listen, this is all I want to say to you. If your parents are deputizing you as on their behalf to do this.
No, listen, I'm just telling you what's going to go down. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Well, what I'm asking you is, here's the thing. I'd like to be able to speak with you about this, but I can't, so...
Yes, you can. You can speak about anything other than the account. I'm not talking about the account right now, Chris. I'm talking to you.
Hold on. You need to be public knowledgeable about the restrictions that govern financials.
You bet your ass. I don't have an IQ of 75. That's correct.
Surely you know I can't discuss that with you unless I have authorization.
And Chris, I respect that. Hey, Chris.
You can say I discussed the account with you when you know I can't?
Chris, listen, I respect that and I understand what you're saying, but I also know that you're no dummy and you know what went down in that account. You know darn well what went down in that account.
So here's what I'm asking of you, okay?
Yeah.
I'm glad to discuss this in detail, a negotiation, if you will. If you can get me an authorization from
you don't even need, hey Chris,
I do need it.
Wait, calm down. I understand what you're saying legally. I'm not a moron. You're talking to me like I'm 7 years old. I may be upset. I'm upset for a number of reasons, and you can understand why. But I understand your position legally as an attorney. I respect that.
You know what? And I'm not sure, but the man on us, here's the thing. I can't discuss the details without you know that.
I respect that, yes. I understand that.
Number one, if you say what? You send a demand letter and a document signed by your parents saying that we authorize you to discuss the matters, all matters pertaining to our account with our son, Steve Shelton. And if you do that, that shouldn't be too hard. If you do that, I'll be glad to discuss at length anything that you like.
Well, I have a lot to discuss with you, so I appreciate you making that offer.
So, and once we can overcome what I consider to be a procedural hurdle, then we can discuss and figure out where to go next.
The procedural hurdle being what exactly?
Procedural hurdle being I can't discuss.
Okay, that's fine. All I'm saying is the total value of their net worth moves the amount of the losses sometimes over the course of a few minutes in a trading day. I find it unbelievable, bordering on insane, that your response was what it was and that they were put into what they were at their age understand what your job is. You're there protecting the bank, which shortly after the snafu of the summer of 2014 and the resulting crash in oil prices, you guys had an interesting sit-down with the DOJ and with Mr. Lowski, who I had a few words with myself. Now, he's no longer at DFS NY, but we did discuss many things in detail, and so did other members of the New York Department of Financial Services, as I'm sure you may possibly be aware of that fact. So, I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate your time.
If you do that, look, I'm glad to discuss this with you.
Because I would not like the entire Midwestern, Jewish community to, have to be brought into this nonsense. Because pretty much anybody with a computer can do a Google search about what was going on there, which was ridiculous. And what was going on with individual people, retired Jewish people who trusted people, thinking they were going to get, hedge funds, which were just being churned, separate managed accounts by a bunch of, goofballs, running them with trailing stops, doing unnecessary buys and sells within the account. They thought they were going to be getting, pharmaceutical funds, the next TIVA, the next FireEye, the next Palo Alto network, stuff coming out of Unit 8200, the Israeli military's cybersecurity experts in the Negev desert. They thought they were investing in that kind of high technology startup stuff so they could beat the triple Q. Nobody in their right mind would pay those fees unless they thought they were going to beat the triple Q and they were going to be looked after and protected. And that was not the case at all. That was an unbelievably predatory account. And anybody who would look into that would realize that after the fact. The high fees were quite obvious, but some people are willing to pay high fees.
You made this point.
You're right, I have made this point.
You can amplify it, but you made this point.
That's right, and I want to make sure it's clear, that's all, because I don't know if things sink in too clearly over there. Not only with your law firm, but with the financial institution which you represent.
Make sure I understand. You're saying the bank Leumi is an anti-Semitic organization?
Is not a what?
I'm sorry?
Bank Leumi is not a what?
An anti-Semitic. Bank Leumi is an anti-Semitic organization?
I didn't make. Who you said that? I didn't say that.
Did you?
No, I clearly didn't say that. What are you putting words about? I never said that.
Okay.
When did I say that?
People should be exposed to a criminal enterprise, right?
I didn't say you're an anti-Semitic institution. If I thought that, hey, wait a second, Chris. If I thought that, I wouldn't have set foot ever in your financial institution if I thought it was an anti-Semitic institution. I wouldn't go anywhere near people who preach hate against groups that I'm descended from. That's nonsense. I find it ridiculous that you would even say such a thing. Why would you even insinuate that I would think that? That's absurd. I didn't think it was an anti-Semitic institution. I thought it ended up being a predatory, unlawful, unethical institution. And unfortunately, there are many members, of many different communities who are that way, that that's just how people are. And I would say that given the things that were admitted to in federal court documents and the fines that were paid, I think the objective record proves that to be the case. But I don't think it's an anti-Semitic institution. No, there's no evidence to believe that. Only a crazy person would believe that. And I'm not a crazy person. I'm just a little upset.
Alright, I understand. Well, listen.
Do I seem crazy? Do I seem crazy to you? I'm not.
I didn't say you were crazy, sir.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So, Mr. Self, what I'd like is if you give me an authorization and I can discuss this with you.
Okay.
Alright?
Okay.
And there's no, I don't know, I would be, and I think you used me partially as your point of contact. I'd appreciate if you just used me exclusively as your point of contact.
Why is that?
Well, I'd rather that you speak with one voice with me about what it is that you want, your contentions as opposed to anyone else.
Why is that?
You're free to speak to anybody you want.
That's exactly correct. I am free to speak to whoever I want in a lawful manner, which is how I always conduct myself.
That's why I didn't say anything different.
Well, no, you were implying some things.
I asked for an accommodation from you.
Well, and I have contacted the people in positions of power throughout that institution.
And just to be utterly clear, you can contact any regulator, anybody you want.
That is correct, and I can contact any member of the press that I want, and I can put.
You can contact you whoever you want.
Yeah, I can do whatever I want. I can put videos of recordings I made from Marc Pershan's lies, his pathological psycho lies, all over the internet if I want. And believe me, I can do that. But I have withheld upon that. But I can assure you, what? You bet I will do that too if it comes down to it. And I will scan documents when the time comes, and I will put them all over and I will make videos which will get hundreds of thousands of views on Google's YouTube platform.
You think that? I mean, I'm sorry. You really think that people who have an interest in watching videos of people discussing a financial transaction from 4 years ago? I think you really overestimate the viral nature of that.
Do you? Would you like that?
You can do whatever you want.
That's right. Does that bother you? I think it does really bother you. I think people are interested in that. I think they are interested in that.
It's preposterous. It's preposterous. You want to put a video up and if it was go viral, people discussing a financial transaction 4 years ago, well, there's nothing I can do about it.
How about the paperwork?
It doesn't matter.
How about the emails? How about the lies in the emails? How about
the president is going to become a viral video is absurd.
Okay.
In any event, look, I can't discuss it with you. You know that.
Right, but why are you getting so emotional?
All I've asked you, and I've asked you to do it. No, I just meant, and I'm sorry, I'll make it 100% clear. To the extent that you deal with anyone at Leumi, but for sake of consistency, so I know that the left hand knows what the right hand does, if you just go through it.
No. What you don't like is actions that destabilize the chain of command within the bank. That's why. You don't want people who work there getting emails saying, hey, this is probably going to happen. And that's what it's about, because it's all about money. it's all about ripping people off. So that's why you want me to do that.
I'm not concerned about that. I just matter.
Sure you are. Then you just refuted yourself. Of course you're concerned about it. That's why you're asking me to comply.
No, I'm not asking.
If you weren't concerned, you wouldn't have said it.
That's all.
But why? Why can't I speak with everybody?
You like to call me, so...
I don't like calling you. I don't like calling you at all.
But you call me. You call me...
That's right, but I don't like doing it. You know what? I call up the bank, too.
I'll tell you what, I take it back. Call whatever you want. I don't care. I mean...
And you don't think a viral video... Well, hey, if viral videos don't work, why does Bank Leumi have commercials on the internet if it doesn't work? If there's no efficacy in putting things on the internet, why does Bank Leumi spend thousands of shekels putting up commercials in both Hebrew and English if it's got no efficacy whatsoever? Of course it has efficacy.
You said you were posting video.
You know what I said? Why not? I said, why not? You guys post videos talking about how great you are. How about a video that says, here's an objective set of facts that says they're not so great. I think it would be, at least at the very minimum, equally as ineffective as your commercials. Right?
If this conversation's over, if you get me a little conversation, I'd be glad to.
And you know what? Try and make some statements that sound like they're logical.
As respectfully as I can, Mr. Sherman.
As respectfully as you can. Here you go. Let me just say something. If posting things on the internet has no efficacy, why does Bank Leumi do it? I mean, what are you playing some mind game with me? You're gonna get nowhere. You'll get nowhere.
Bank Leumi YouTube videos have gone viral.
What?
I have they gone viral.
Well, you should know. You say they don't go viral. Maybe one of my production capabilities might. Who knows?
Maybe it will.
Who knows? Well, then don't say that it won't. You said that it wouldn't. You said you have no fear of it. Well, then there you go.
Here's the thing, look.
For 24 G's, you guys are doing this. It's unbelievable.
Listen, the last thing
I make that much in a day, and you guys are making this fiasco over it.
Debate whether or not your video productions about the bank will go viral.
No, that was you questioning it. That was you. I'm just saying maybe. Who knows? All I'm saying is for 20-some G's, you guys certainly are screwy. I'll tell you that. Because I make that much in a couple hours. I don't know why you want to have this fiasco over it.
Yeah, well, I mean...
You should have just compensated the account.
That's the case. I understand. This is obviously personal to you.
It's not personal to me. I could give a damn about your bank. I mean, in 5 years, banks will be replaced by downloadable iOS and Linux trading platforms.
That you're not going to quibble with. So all I'll say is get an authorization, and then we can talk in depth about this. We can talk about the merits of what you have to say, and whether or not the bank has a response to it.
You already had a response to it. What are you talking about? You already made your letter. That was your response.
I'm well aware of the letter.
Well, are you willing to amend your response? Change your response as the times have changed?
Mr. Salva, again,
Are you willing to evolve with the changing times or no?
just please give me the letter of authorization, and I'll
is postmodernist, manipulative nonsense. So I don't really see a conversation going anywhere.
So let me get this straight. It's gobbledygook what you're saying.
No, it isn't. It's perfectly sane. It's perfectly logical.
No, it's not perfectly logical. It's not. It's gobbledygook.
Well, why? Why is it gobbledygook? Tell me why in detail.
You put a letter of authorization to discuss other people's accounts.
No. Wait. So whoa.
Is postmodern?
No, Christopher. Calm yourself down now. When you say that a viral video, oh boy, I can tell you're not very bright, because otherwise you'd button your lip and listen. The postmodernist aspect was you making the presupposition that a video made of similar quality as Bank Leumi's commercials that they put on the internet wouldn't get a few 100,000 hits. I'm willing to say that it does. You say that would never work. Well, based upon what objective record? That's why you became a lawyer and not a geophysicist, because you don't have a scientific mind. Because a scientist wouldn't have made the postmodernist statement that you made. So I don't think getting authorization to discuss something is postmodernist. That's you. That is you who made that presupposition.
It's possible that your video goes viral. Okay.
Well, now you've refuted yourself. There you go. Good. Now you're making a little more sense. Now I feel more comfortable talking with you. Because so far, everybody at that bank.
Mr. Selma,
Yeah.
If you provide the letter of authorization from the parents, I'll be glad to discuss it further with you. Okay, sir?
Well, I mean, basically, you don't want to compensate the accountant. You've already contacted them, so you're sticking with the letter at this point. So
I'm asking for a letter.
You're asking for a letter.
Authorization, a written authorization.
And then, what, are you going to change your previous letter? I doubt it. I think you're itching for an arbitration in
Listen, they can do whatever they want.
No, you can't. You can't do whatever you want. You can't sue, because that's the terms of the contract. So you can't do whatever you want. You're bound by the contract, as are you, which, by the way, is a fascinating situation for you guys at this point in your company's history, or should I say, in the history of the company that you represent.
Very good. Okay.
And this, another aspect of the postmodernism of your nonsensical conversation was.
I tell you what, I won't forget this conversation.
You won't forget it? Well, you don't need to forget it. Why would you forget? I hope you're recording it, because
it's the first time in my life I've ever called postmodernist, which I appreciate.
You've never what?
I remember that.
You've never what?
I've never been called a postmodernist. I love it. I appreciate it.
Well, you clearly are, objectively. It's on the record.
If you know anything about postmodernism, you know that I would reject the idea of objectivism. So
you seem to, because you out of nowhere you said that I thought Bank Leumi was an anti-Semitic institution. There was no reason to even make that statement, because I've never said that Bank Leumi you were insinuating that. So that shows that you don't believe in an objective reality. You will make statements without anything there to inform.
I'm not going to debate this with you anymore.
Well, of course not, because you look like an idiot in the conversation.
Well, listen, do you want a solution or not?
Do I want a solution? Hey, you know what? If it had been my bank, you know what I would have done? First of all,
do you want a solution if you're trying to have phone calls?
Well, I'll tell you what. obviously don't want a solution the way that they wanted the solution, which I thought was pretty reasonable, which was
proposition to discuss it with you.
no. Hey, wait, are you gonna
step forward?
What's with these open-ended questions here, counselor? Why don't you just ask a question and then be quiet and wait for the answer? Okay? Why don't you just wait for the answer after you've asked the question like a sane person? I know most of the people at Bank Leumi probably are not sane. What?
Regardless, if you get another authorization, I'll be glad.
Regardless, so you're going to use a preposition to just sort of like dismiss what was being said, which was perfectly reasonable and rational. That's how attorneys seem to operate. So let me just answer the question that you didn't let me answer. Yes, I would like a resolution. I would like a quiet resolution. You didn't want that. You'd rather give $55,000 as a tax-deductible donation to some school in New York City as a advertising enterprise rather than compensate old people who you scammed. Just like you scammed the IRS and the state of New York Department of Revenue.
And you know what? Listen,
which is an objective fact.
I just don't have time.
You have plenty of time. You get paid to do this. What are you talking about? You don't have time.
I'm glad to discuss the merits this once I have on
The merits? You guys have no defense. None. Zero.
Fine. You obtain that for me and we'll discuss it.
You have no defense. None.
Alright.
And you know it. You know it, or you would have hung up a long time ago, because you know who you're dealing with. Anyway, see ya, Chris. Have a great day, man.
Take care.
Yeah.